Now we get underway with the penultimate junior Rotax heat, which is Heat 2, Groups A and C. Let's take you through the starting grid. So on pole position, it will be Timo Jungling in the number 265. He'll have Zane Quaker alongside on the front row. Armand Hamilton and Noah Janssen will be on row 2. Tom Strehler and Max Cuthbert, row 3. Cameron Nelson and Matthias Jellerup on row 4, with Julian Kovacevic and Tino Sidler completing the top 10. Lewis Goff, Jake Menton, Jacob Ashcroft, Aaron Vida, Zach Turner, Victor Galmiche, Jon-Kasper Joipere, Ethan Carney, Signe Pers Onvol and Hayam Bourguignon complete the top 20. Viti Väinänen, Vlad Tomenchuk, Mika van der Pavret, Ryan Gandor, Marte Kobahidze and Oliver Stedler round out the 26 strong. I have to give a few shout-outs. Ron Lynn saying, good luck, Lewis, Golf and Junior from all at Alchemy Car Care. Good to hear from you guys over there. Isaac Barker giving shout-outs to DHR, Dan Holland Racing, and also let's see a masterclass performance from Jacob Ashcroft in his first junior race. Effie Mary Joyce giving support to Zane. Once again, Isaac Barker, 13 to 1 odds on Jacob Ashcroft. Barry, I hope you heard that. But we have got the fact that we have 26 drivers, of course, as with Micros, DD2 and Masters. They are all running in 2 of 3 heats. So some, like Zane Quaker, like Noah Janssen, Max Cuthbert, will have completed their 2 heats at this point. Timo Jungling, 3rd in this year's European Championship, pipped to second by a handful of points. Kenzo Craigie from Argenti Motorsports, and then was also on the same podium as Matej Radenkovic. But 7 minutes on the timer, plus an additional lap here for this second and penultimate junior Rotax heat. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are out. We are underway and racing, and it's wheel to wheel between Jungling and Quaker going into turns 1 and 2. But Armand Hamilton might have gotten through. Quaker drops to 4th place initially, as Cuthbert has got a bit of a drama in his own right. He started on the outside of row number 3. He's well outside of the top 10. They're all squabbling for positions as Quaker's getting defensive ahead of Janssen, who's trying to look up the inside through turn number 7. Just behind him was Cameron Nelson in the 241 from the UK. Oh, Ryan Gandor's up and around and into the air. Oh, dearie me. A real shame for the young man from Canada. Got collected and up and spun around, and he's out of the car. I'm not at all surprised. That's a real shame for Ryan Gandor. Has been switching between mini and juniors this year. Good friends with him is a certain Lucas Paunot, but there is the change for the race lead. Armand Hamilton from Hungary gets through on Timo Jungling for the race lead, and coming along with them is the 2:38 of Latvia's Tom Strehler. Now there's going to be a change. Oh, bit of fisticuffs going through turn 6, and now it's a Dan Holland Racing 1-2. Jungling gets back into the race lead. Tom Strehler up the inside of Armand Hamilton through at turn number 6. And now it's 3 in a row. 3 line astern at the front end of the field. But they're going to have to watch themselves. It depends on how close those are. Oh, someone's had a big old drama. Now, who was that? Now, I did notice someone going completely sideways through out of turn 9. I think got tagged. Now, Max Cuthbert hasn't had an easy ride. Neither has Zane Quaker. Zane is a little bit further down the order. I think he's going to be just outside of the top 10. Tom Strehler has now been repassed by Armand Hamilton. And Zane Quaker all the way down to 19th. It might have been him that got a little bit of a touch coming out of turn 9, because there was a kart very, very slow. And again, the race lead has changed. Armand Hamilton back in the race lead. Tom Strehler looking up the inside of Timo Jungling going into turn 7. But the Latvian has to hold station for the minute. So unfortunately on the opening lap, And now, look who's behind them. Oh, Lewis Goff from Sam Pollitt Racing. Welcome to the front end of a junior road tax race in karting, Genk. Along with him, well, Isaac Barker, your wish has been granted. Hello and welcome to the party, Jacob Ashcroft. Now up the inside, Hamilton loses the lead. Youngling gets through. Strella gets through. It could be a slipstream fest. Will Armand Hamilton be down to 5th by turn 2? The answer is yes. So now 3 karts from Dan Holland Racing occupying slots in the top 5. 1st, 2nd and 4th. And Jacob Ashcroft looking for the move on Lewis Goff, who has also picked up, and I have to give a shout out to one man who's currently in Portugal. Oh, that was not cricket at all there. And Jacob Ashcroft tried to get through on Armand Hamilton. Hamilton having absolutely none of it. Have to give a shout out to a few people that I know might be watching this stream. David Sullivan from the Kart Championship. Matty Street currently in Portimao. Of course, Lewis Goff is a multi-time the Kart Championship title winner. And now is running with Sam Pollitt Racing. It's all kicking off with 3 minutes to go. It's like trying to decide who's going to be in front of who. But there is a change for 2nd position. Lewis Goff in the 251 with Sam Pollitt Racing, really giving the likes of Tom Strella, Timo Youngling et al. Something to think about. And Cameron Nelson, in the meantime, has profited big style in this particular occasion, because now Cameron Nelson is P5, but Lewis Goff is not letting go of that 2nd position. He's now trying to get past Timo Youngling. There is Armand Hamilton still in 4th. Jacob Ashcroft, well held, young sir. He's currently 5th, he's currently 6th, and he's got behind him Germany's Noah Janssen on the Gillard chassis. And here goes Lewis Goff up the inside of Timo Youngling. That's 2nd for the 251. Great move. And now he has to start defending. And it's very difficult to try and get through at turn 2. Timo Youngling tries to force the move to happen. Lewis Goff says no. Armand Hamilton says yes. You just left the door open. I'll take back 3rd. And now it's a dogfight for 3rd position. Hamilton leads that battle with Timo Youngling, Cameron Nelson, and keep your eyes because Jacob Ashcroft is closing up again. And along with him is going Noah Janssen. Then you look behind. Ryan Bourguignon has had an absolute belter. Started 20th on the grid, is now 8th and climbing forward. Great to see the young driver from France managing to get a little bit further up the order. Rounding out the top 10, Max Cuthbert and Tino Sidler. Zane Quaker, unfortunately, folks, has dropped all the way down to the back end of the field, as now Armand Hamilton has been passed by Timo Youngling for 3rd place. Lewis Goff now away and clear by the tune of about a 2nd. Now, let's see what happens here. Oh, Cameron Nelson saying to Jacob Ashcroft, keep it careful. Ashcroft round the outside at turn 7 on Cameron Nelson, and he got through. Wow. I know, Barry Ashcroft, you've got the defibrillator on standby. I need it up here in the commentary position. Great move there. Oh, now that's a bit rambunctious there. I think that was from Ryan Bourguignon on Max Cuthbert. So someone has just dropped a big amount of positions coming out of turn 10. 2 more laps to go as our race leader starts lap number 8, and that is Latvia's Tom Strella. Lewis Goff now puts in his fastest lap of the race and is 9/100ths off Tom Strella, who's just put in the fastest lap of anybody, 57.152. So Timo Youngling is still having to battle with Armand Hamilton for 3rd place. And Jacob Ashcroft is battling, well, is now actually up into 5th position, and he's pulled away from Cameron Nelson. What's more, he's closing in on the 2 in front. Time has expired. 1 more lap to go after this. And Youngling goes defensive into turn 10. Ashcroft is catching. He had a big old run of momentum through that right-hand sweeper at turn 10. Darren Beavers, I hope you're keeping well, mate, because remember the Winter Cup a few years ago? Someone started stone dead last and came back to win his class at Wilton Mill. Well, he's on the verge of getting his first ever top 5 finish in his junior Rotax debut, and he's wanting to go higher than that. And Ashcroft trying to go round the outside of Armand Hamilton at turn 6. And now he's in the slipstream of the 242 from Hungary. Right behind them is Tino Sidler, with Cameron Nelson stuck between Sidler and Ashcroft. Leader now making his way through and of turn number 11. The Latvian superstar that is Tom Strela is going to lead the field across the start-finish line to take the win in the second heat. Congratulations, well done, Lewis Goff. You have arrived, good sir. Third place, Ashcroft trying to go around the outside of Armand Hamilton. It's going to be third for Youngling, fourth for Hamilton, and well done, Jacob Ashcroft. You were 29 thousandths away from taking a top 4 finish in your first ever junior Rotax race. Absolutely fantastic performance from the young man from Western Supermare. Cameron Nelson, Max Cuthbert, Tino Sidler, Noah Janssen and Julian Kovacevic round out the top 10. 11th, it was Matthias Jellerup, Sinjepes Ornball, Adam Vida, Jake Menton, Hyam Bourguignon, Victor Galmiche, Zach Turner, Oliver Stedler, Mika van der Pavert, Vitti Väinänen completes the top 20. Ahead of Vlad Tominchuk, Jord Kasper Joipera, Zane Quaker finishing in 23rd. Mate Kobahidze, Ethan Carney rounding out the 25 finishers. And also, unfortunately, Ryan Gandor not having a good one. The Canadian out by the approach into turn 8 on the opening lap. But, well, if that's something to go by, keep your eyes peeled for the final junior Rotax heat later on today. Driver announcement for driver number 302 for the Easterly 1000. Driver plus entrance to stewards, please immediately. That's driver 302. Driver plus entrance to the stewards immediately. There's also a quick reminder to wear Remax t-shirts. If you are planning to go down to the office suites in Canyon tomorrow, it's the office that's upstairs. Cover the staircase to the brasserie at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So the second junior Rotax heat was set to be a pretty good one, and what's more, it definitely delivered. Timo Youngling would lead the field into turns 1 and 2 with the likes of Serla, Hamilton trying to get up the inside of Quaker and Janssen amongst others, as everyone at some point will use the runner ferry going through on the opening lap, which they are very much permitted to do so. But this was the moment here that a certain Ryan Gandor tried to get through, got caught out whilst trying to go past. I think it might have been one of the drivers at the back end of the field, possibly Mika van der Pavert, and the Canadians' race was done and dusted after just 8 corners. Armand Hamilton would then make his way into the race lead, having overtaken the likes of Tom Strela and also Timo Youngling in the process. Strela would then make his own move up the inside on Hamilton to get through into P2. Hamilton would then return the favour to Youngling and get through at turn 6 a little bit later on in the race, where the likes of Lewis Goff and Jacob Ashcroft would start catching along with Cameron Nelson. This mistake here coming out of turn 8 compromised both Hamilton and Youngling and gave Tom Strela the advantage he needed to get through at turn number 2, whereas Lewis Goff was definitely factoring into this. Jacob Ashcroft making his junior Rotax debut in the 212 very much was something to a joy to behold, in other words, because his moves were sublime. Then you saw Noah Janssen going wheel to wheel with Tino Sidler coming out of turn number 10. Then this move here secured second position for Lewis Goff from Sam Pollock Racing in the number 251. He made sure that he gave as good as he got and managed to pull away. But then everyone started squabbling. And then this move here, Jacob Ashcroft, Hail Mary round the outside of Cameron Nelson, his own teammates thereof, at turn 7 off of the Europolan, and still made it stick. That just goes to show how quickly you can make a decision and it can pay off or it can go completely wrong. But, however, it was a win for Tom Strella from Latvia, Lewis Goff taking a second place finish, and rounding out the top 3 would be one of the drivers behind, and it would end up being Timo Jungling. And Jacob Ashcroft, on his junior Rotax debut, takes a welcome 5th place. Right, a couple of shout-outs on YouTube. Bethany Freeman, well done DHR. Isaac Barker giving a shout-out to Nathan Ames, who is mechanicking Timo Jungling this weekend. Karting report. Good to hear from you. So also good to hear from Bartosz from Karting Report, who's also cheering on David Maslakovic as we are about to get through the second and penultimate heat of DD2 and DD2 Masters.